You ever looked a woman in the eyes, said something sweet like, "You're beautiful," and watched her smile disappear? It's not that she didn't appreciate it. It's that she's heard it too many times from too many guys who all sounded the same. See, attraction doesn't start in the brain. It starts in the body. A pause, a pulse, a word that slides under her skin before she even knows it. That's the real difference between the man she forgets and the man she can't stop imagining. It's not the jawline. It's not the bank account. It's not even confidence. It's the right words, said at the right moment, in a way that makes her feel something she hasn't felt before. Because when she feels something, that's when you become unforgettable. So in this video, I'm giving you 3 rare compliments. Compliments that don't sound like compliments. They sound like truth. They sound like you see something in her no one else ever noticed. And that's what stays with her. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Tap the like button, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit, and let's unlock the power of words that women can't forget. Let's begin. 1. I don't need you, but I want you. You ever notice something strange? The more a man chases, the faster she pulls away. The more he tries to impress her, the more invisible he becomes. That's not a coincidence. That's biology. See, women aren't drawn to desperation. They're drawn to direction, to certainty, to the man who walks with purpose. And the phrase, "I don't need you, but I want you." It's not just a line. It's a statement, a shift in the energy, a reminder that you're the prize too. Most guys think love means giving everything, calling all the time, texting first, chasing endlessly. But that kind of energy, it drains the mystery. It tells her you've already placed her on a pedestal, while you shrink beneath her feet. That's not desire. That's dependency. And women can smell that from miles away. But when you say, "I don't need you, but I want you," you're flipping the script. You're letting her know, "You're not the center of my universe. I have my own life, my own rhythm, my own peace." And yet, with all that said, I choose you. That's power. It's the kind of masculine energy that pulls her in, not because you're trying to get her, but because you're fine without her. That phrase signals scarcity. And in psychology, scarcity creates value. Think about it. If something is always available, always eager, always chasing, it loses its edge. But when something is rare, something you can't quite figure out, it lingers. It makes her wonder, why isn't he chasing me like the others? What makes him different? What does he know that I don't? Now she's intrigued. Now she's invested. Let me paint you a picture. She texts you late at night. Are you still awake? Most guys would drop everything to respond. Of course, beautiful. What's up? But you wait, not to play games, but because your time has value. And when you do reply, you don't come crawling. You come calmly, present, grounded. You say, I'm awake, long day. What's on your mind? Now she's leaning in. Now she feels like she's entering your world, not the other way around. And if she starts questioning, do you even like me? That's your moment. Look her in the eye and say, I don't need you, but I want you. Let it sit. Let her feel it. And trust me, she will. Because it tells her something every high-value man understands. I'm whole on my own, but there's something about you that makes me curious. It doesn't just attract her, it challenges her. It awakens the side of her that wants to be chosen, not chased. Now, let's clarify something. This isn't about being cold or indifferent. You can care deeply. You can love fully. But it has to come from abundance, not emptiness. The Stoic man doesn't beg. He doesn't need external validation. He chooses what aligns with his values. And that's exactly what makes him magnetic. So next time you feel that pull to convince her, stop. Take a breath. Stand in your worth. And say, I don't need you, but I want you. If you say it with presence, with calm, with truth, she'll feel something she's never felt before. And that's when she starts chasing you. 2. I bet most guys don't make you feel like this. She's laughing. You don't even remember what you said, but something about the way she tilted her head, the way her eyes lingered just a second too long, told you this moment was different, not dramatic, not loud, just electric. So you look at her, calm and certain, and say, I bet most guys don't make you feel like this. You don't smirk. You don't wink. You just let the words float there. Because this isn't a compliment. It's a suggestion. And suggestions, they don't get heard. They get felt. You've just planted a thought in her mind. One she didn't see coming. One that spreads like a spark in dry grass. Now she's wondering, do I feel different around him? What is it about him that's unfamiliar? Why does this feel more intense than it should? She's not answering you. She's answering herself. That's the magic. You didn't force attraction. You triggered awareness. That's what makes her lean in. Not because you told her how to feel, but because you made her realize she's already feeling it. Let's pause here. If you're still watching, hit that like button if this resonates. And tell me in the comments, what's the most unforgettable thing a woman ever said to you? Your story might inspire someone else reading. Now, back to it. Most guys say, you're beautiful. You've got amazing eyes. You're so sweet. They mean well, but these words, they bounce off the surface because they're not personal, They're not rare, they're just recycled. But when you say, "I bet most guys don't make you feel like this," you're pulling her into a comparison, not with your words, but with her memories. She starts thinking of all the other dates, the other texts, the other men who tried, and none of them made her feel like this. Now, you're no longer competing, you're standing alone. That's the contrast effect at work. When something stands out, everything else fades. But timing is everything. Say it too soon, it feels forced. Say it too late, the moment is gone. So when do you say it? Right after she shares something real, when she opens up, tells you a story no one else knows. Say it when the energy shifts, when she's leaning closer, when silence feels full instead of empty. Or say it right before you leave, right at that edge where the moment could dissolve, or stay with her all night. I bet most guys don't make you feel like this. Boom. Now she's replaying everything in her mind. Here's the key, though. You have to back it up. This phrase only works if it's true, if she does feel different, if your energy is calm, not chaotic, focused, not fidgety. You have to slow down, hold eye contact, let the silence do some of the talking. Because when you create emotional space, she fills it with curiosity, and curiosity leads to connection, deep connection. And that's the real goal, not to impress her, but to leave an echo. So, don't rush this line. Let it rise naturally from the moment, because when it lands, when she hears it and feels it, you won't be just another guy. You'll be the one she compares everyone else to. And whether she admits it or not, that feeling, that's what makes her want more. If this shifted your perspective, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit for more timeless strategies. And here's a question. Have you ever said something that made her freeze and feel? Drop it below. I read every comment. 3. I know your trouble, but I like it. She leans in, eyes playful, like she's daring you to say something bold. And you do. With a calm voice, a hint of a smile, you say, I know your trouble, but I like it. Then silence. Not awkward silence, but electric. Because those words, they don't flatter, they don't beg, they challenge. It's not a compliment, it's a revelation. Most men try to win her over. They offer safety, predictability. They nod and smile, afraid to disturb her calm. But you see through it, through the charm, through the games, through the mask she wears for the rest of the world. And you name it, not to call her out, but to let her know you're not afraid, you're not running, you're curious. And that flips everything, because now she's the one wondering, does he really see me? What does he know that others missed? Can he actually handle me? That's when it begins. Because once she starts asking herself those questions, She's already invested. You're not just a man, you're a mirror, reflecting a part of her she tries to hide, and telling her you still want in. That is rare, and rare things are irresistible. Let me pause for a second. If you've ever had a moment like this, where one sentence shifted the entire energy, leave a like. And tell me in the comments, what's the boldest thing you've ever said and meant it? Now, back to the fire. This phrase works because it touches her ego and her intrigue at once. You're telling her, I see the storm, and I'm not backing away. It invites her to be wild, to be unpredictable, to be real. Not the polished, filtered version, the one with sharp edges, contradictions, passion. You're not putting her on a pedestal. You're meeting her eye to eye. And here's the twist. You're not seducing her. You're giving her permission. Permission to be intense, complicated, unapologetically herself. And that's where true attraction begins. But timing is key. Say it too early, and it feels staged. Say it too late, and the moment has cooled. So when? Say it when she tests you, when she throws a jab with a sparkle in her eyes. Say it when she says, you probably think I'm too much. And you look her in the eye and say, I know your trouble, but I like it. Let it breathe. Let the silence fill the space between you. Because that silence, that's when she starts to feel you. She may laugh, she may push back, but her energy will shift. Because suddenly she's wondering, who is this man who doesn't flinch at my fire? You've just flipped the dynamic. Now she's proving herself to you. She's opening up, showing layers. She's teasing you, testing you, working to be understood. All because one phrase gave her a signal that you're different. But remember, delivery is everything. Say it too sharp, it's threatening. Too soft, and it's lost. You want that middle ground, confident, calm, unshakable. Look into her, not just at her. Hold her gaze. Hold your ground. Say it like you've seen something she hasn't even owned yet. I know your trouble. Pause. But I like it. Simple. But if delivered right, it lands deeper than any pickup line ever could. Because this isn't a line. It's a recognition. And women crave that more than they'll ever admit. See, there's a principle at play here. It's called reactance theory. When someone feels labeled, they instinctively want to push back. But when you label her playfully, not to limit, but to invite, you trigger intrigue, not resistance. Now she's wondering if she is trouble, or if maybe, just maybe, she likes that you think she is. And suddenly, she's leaning in. This is how attraction turns to tension. Tension into curiosity. Curiosity into connection. And that connection, that's the thing she'll remember. Long after the night is over. Long after the words fade. She'll replay the moment, the pause, the spark, the certainty in your voice. And she'll smile, because someone finally saw her and didn't blink. That's what makes a man unforgettable. If this spoke to something deep in you, subscribe to the Stoic Spirit and take a second to share below. Have you ever said one line that changed everything? I'll see you in the next one.